Hey guys, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on for more great content.
Hey guys, it's Rob here from Betway, and joining me is Nitro to discuss his return to Counter-Strike. So mate, how are you doing?
Doing really well. Obviously, when you come back to it or learn it, when you're learning something new, especially a game where like the past year and a half, I wasn't really like thinking about Counter-Strike at all because I wasn't like, in my mind at least, like I wasn't like I want to go back to CS. At this point in time, it wasn't like a mind, because I feel like if I were to do that, my mind would be all over the place. So I was kind of just like strictly focused on Counter-Strike or Valorant, and once the opportunity arose, and I got an opportunity to go back, obviously it's something to consider, and I made the decision to come back, and here I am.
Yeah. Did you always have in mind that you were going to come back to CS, or was it the opportunity with Liquid again that you were like, okay, this is an opportunity I can't turn down? So yeah, did you always have it in mind, or was it Liquid?
Honestly, can't really say if I was like planning on coming back, so to speak. It was more like just time and place and opportunity, honestly. Like, but if another team were to offer me, like, I would have to consider it as well,
Yeah.
But coming back to Team Liquid is a no-brainer for me. I was here for 5.5 years, and I'm super comfortable with like staff and just how they approach everything, and I think they're the greatest org still. And I love to call them home, and I like to call Counter-Strike home too. So I'm home right now.
Nice, coming home. Well, welcome home. I'm sure every Counter-Strike fan is like happy to have you back in the scene. What's been like the most challenging thing for you to come back to CS:GO from Valorant? Is it like learning the smoke lines up? Have you lost a bit of your aim at all? Like what's been the most challenging thing for you?
The challenging thing for me, I would say, is as an IGL perspective, I think kind of like learning how specific players play again. Whereas before, like I played thousands of scrims and matches versus them, so I had an idea of how like Zipniks were to play clutch, or Magis, or Zywoo or something. Like I had just that idea in my head of how they would play, and now I have to like kind of relearn everything. And these players also play different nowadays. They don't play the same from 2019. Like they're all different. So honestly, the hardest part is probably like relearning players and catching up with the current meta stuff, which obviously like you have to talk to your teammates about and watch and be super studious about it. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm caught up. You gotta like really put in the hours to learn it again. There's not like a person who can just come back and be like, yeah, I know everything. Like, it's just not possible.
I was gonna say, outside of like obviously you put a lot of hours in to catch up and get up to speed again, but what else have you done? What have those hours been going to? Like demo watching, like team reviews, what have you been doing?
A lot of them have been going to demo reviews, and also just our scrim reviews, and just theorying and scrims. Honestly, that's where the majority of our hours have gone in this boot camp so far. During like the Christmas break, I was studying stuff on my own and just trying to like get my mechanical skill back from Valorant, because obviously it's completely different mechanics. So doing that, relearning specific nade sets, lots of memorizing, and learning for sure. So my brain has been very full lately.
Yeah, I can imagine. And obviously you're coming back and you've got a bit of a new lineup in Liquid. One of probably the most exciting things is playing with Shox, because you've played against him so many times, and you probably remember how he plays and what he's like as a player to play against. But what's he been like in the team?
Shox has been great, man. He's definitely like the hype. I don't know if he's like a hype man, but he's super optimistic about like everything. He reminds me a lot of Taco, just with the way he approaches the game. I think right now his biggest struggle is probably just like his language barrier. I think he has great English. Because like honestly, I didn't talk to Shox that much in my career, like personally. So I think coming to meet him was like, I had no idea how good his English was. I had no idea how his accent was. So I'm telling you now that it's good, and he actually understands all of our conversations, and I'm impressed, honestly. because I had no idea like if he knew that much English, like where he would stand on it. Is he gonna like try to learn it more, stuff like that. So I think I'm really impressed with his English. I think it's actually really good so far. Other than that, I mean, he's been great, and I have nothing bad to say about Shox so far. He's been a great teammate.
Awesome. And obviously, you know, his skill and his ability in the game. So has your expectations of his in-game ability been matched with what you've seen in practice?
Yeah, he's been super clutch in practice. He's one of the players that you just watch him and he just like has such great intuition. Like you're like you're watching him and you'll be like, well, I wouldn't be doing this, but he'll be like, yeah, I'm doing this, you know, like this is my play, like, and it'll probably catch the opponent off guard. He does a lot of like little, he's like a unique player, I'd say, just the way his mechanics are unique, you know, the way he like aims and just moves around the map. He's definitely like one of a kind, but I think he's a very strong player. He's very clutch. He has great intuition. He's always looking for gaps in the defense if he's lurking and stuff. He's willing to take risks, which is super important for a lurker. And yeah, I think he's a great overall player.
Awesome. And finally, do you think there's going to be anything you miss about Valorant and coming back? And are you sad to be leaving the game, teammates, etc.? Are you going to miss that time that you've had there?
I'm gonna miss my ex-teammates. Yeah, they're amazing dudes, and you know, we had great times together. Other than that, even whenever I went to Valorant, I wasn't like necessarily missing CS. I wasn't thinking about Counter-Strike. Like, it's like sometimes like if you're thinking about, like, I'm talking about like a memory, you know, something that happened, but I'm not like going to bed at night thinking about how to mid-B split on Dust 2, you know. I'm like I was so focused on Valorant and just like improving in that game, watching different regions and stuff. I think I was one of the only players that like tried to bring different ideas from different regions to our current team. Like, I didn't really see that too much, to be honest, like within the NA at least. So I was trying to be super innovative and stuff like that. So I didn't really have time to think about Counter-Strike as much as I do now, for example, or as like, you know, in my past career. So yeah, don't miss too many things, I guess.
Well, I said that was the final question, but actually, is there anything you've learned from Valorant and your teammates and your time there that you're going to bring back and your experience bring back to Liquid?
Yeah, for sure. I think the biggest thing I learned is learning new maps and learning how to build a team from nothing. I think obviously in Counter-Strike we had a very strong core for multiple years, and you know, me, pretty much our whole team, like that was like our core, right? And we won the Grand Slam. I think the biggest thing I learned is probably just learning like specific ways on how to like approach a team that has no foundation, right? And I think with our current rebuild in Counter-Strike, we have to do that. You know, we don't have anything right now. Or before, when we first started, like we had nothing. Like we had John and Keith, and those are the only two players from the past iteration, and they weren't like IGLing or anything. So for me, like, I have to learn how they wanted to play. I have to learn the current meta stuff. I have to learn how Shox wants to play the game, how OC wants to go for picks, Winnie wants to go for picks, what it looks like. Like, there's so many different things in Counter-Strike right now for me. Considering that we're building from nothing, and honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a very fun learning experience, you know, for me at least. Like seeing like we got like new players, then we got like some of the old players. So for me, it's like it's really neat to see like everyone clashing together, and especially when it clicks on the server, it's fun to see.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to be exciting to see how it develops over time as well, being so new. Well, Nitro, thank you very much for your time, and you know, best of luck with the future and all the upcoming events.
Thank you so much.